I studied Spanish for 4 years because I went to a private Catholic school, and all of these students had to study a foreign language. So right now, can everybody follow me, we say, or understand me?
Yes.
Okay. Sí, todos
Yes.
pueden entenderme bien, más o menos.
But if you want to speak more
Slow down a
Más
little.
despacio.
Slowly.
Un poquito
Slowly,
más
please.
despacio. Okay.
No
When I
sabemos
was,
tanto.
sí. Yeah, yo sé, no es fácil, sí, aprender, en principio es difícil entender bien, sí, entiendo. Y, so I went to a high school when I was a teenager, and all of the students, todos los estudiantes tenían que estudiar, aprender un idioma extranjero. So all of the students had to learn a foreign language. So I learned Spanish for 4 years, 4 años. Pero en esta época, in that day and age, that time, it was not very good because it was only using textbooks, using books. I like to say it was book Spanish. Yo me gusta decir español del libro, ¿sí?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
I like
we have the same here. The English, or yes, English books,
okay,
or
the same problem. So I learned a lot of like conjugation, conjugaciones, y gramática. I learned a lot of grammar, but I never did really speak much. And so after 4 years, después de 4 años, yo no podía hablar bien o entender. So after 4 years, I couldn't really speak, have a conversation. I couldn't understand. And so
Gary, your class are very bored. Aburrida. Aburrida. No se dice bored.
Oh, bored. Okay.
Bored.
Oh,
Boring. Yeah, boring.
in high school, you mean? In La Prepa? In high school?
Yes, in the high school.
Well, actually, I really liked the Spanish class because I had a very good teacher. He was American, but his wife was from Mexico. His wife was Mexican. So
Your one.
he made it very fun, but just the system, el sistema, no, it was not good to learn a foreign language. So for me, it was kind of a waste of time. Sí, una pérdida de tiempo. Then I graduated from high school, and I went to college. I went to the University of Houston. Después de graduarme, fui a la Universidad de Houston, and I studied engineering. But I didn't have time to study Spanish anymore, so I just stopped studying Spanish. And then after I graduated college, después de graduarme de la universidad, empecé a trabajar para la ciudad de Houston. So after I graduated from college, I went to work for the city of Houston. And like I said, I worked there. I worked in engineering, water engineering. And my last 24 years, I worked for solid waste. We say in English, solid waste is like Departamento de Desperdicios Sólidos, ¿sí? Okay.
Yeah.
And I worked in my last 7 years, I worked in the office of the director. Mis últimos 7 años trabajé en la oficina del director, ¿sí? So after I retired in 2016 or 2015, I retired. See, retired means, see, me jubilé. I retired. And then I remarried. I got married again. And like I said, about 8 years ago, I had time. I had a lot of free time. And I thought to myself, I decided, hey, I want to learn Spanish again, or I want to actually reaprender Spanish, see, because I had forgotten most of my Spanish, see. Is everything clear okay? Does anybody Sí, no,
Yeah,
no hay
sure.
problema. Sí, okay. So I decided, hey, I want to study Spanish again, but I had a problem. One, I didn't have a plan. So to me, that's one important thing when you study a foreign language. You need to have a plan. So I would say I was stuck in the past. That means I was thinking when I like when I was in high school. I need to go to a class. I need to go to a university. I need to study Spanish that way. And to me, that and using a book. And to me, that's really not the best way to study a foreign language. But I didn't know, we say in English, I didn't know any better. Yo no sé, I didn't know, yo no sabía una otra manera para aprender español. Sí. So for almost 2 years, I just went to the university here in my city, and I just took one class each semester. So tomé una clase cada semestre por
Una clase
casi
cada semestre.
tres años. But I didn't try to speak. No traté de hablar. I didn't try to listen to the radio or podcast. No, so I only went to class and studied from the book. And Gabriel knows this, but my wife is a Mexican American. Mi esposa es Mexico-Americana, sí. So all the time she would tell me, hey, you need to speak, you need to speak, you need to speak. And I would tell her, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I need to improve my grammar. I need to improve the conjugation. I need to improve and know, the difference between ser y estar y el subjuntivo. I'm kind of a perfectionist. Sí, yo soy perfeccionista.
Bien, sorry, Gary. El subjuntivo, algo que nombra Gary acá, que nosotros hispanohablantes quizá ni sabemos lo que es el subjuntivo. Gary, ¿sí?
Sí.
Yo creo que la mayoría de los que estamos acá no recordamos.
No.
No. Pero que es algo que al que está aprendiendo español es una suerte de nuestros. I don't know, Gary, if you know the conditionals, that something that we something hard for us, los condicionales, right? Algo como para decir, bueno, esto sería parecido a aprender los condicionales para nosotros. Pero el subjuntivo es algo que les trae un problema a los estudiantes de español, right?
Oh, sí, es un
de
dolor de
español.
cabeza.
¿Él está estudiando español?
Exacto.
Claro.
Ahí va.
Sí. Y el subjuntivo
Mucho
es like,
verbo.
quiero que tú vengas, en vez de quiero que tú vienes, es quiero que tú vengas. That form of Spanish, it's very difficult for English speakers because we don't use the subjunctive as much as Spanish speakers. So es un gran dolor de cabeza. Sí. So I wanted to be perfect before I began to speak to Spanish speakers, and that was another error for me. See. And so another piece of advice, consejo yo puedo darles is don't try to be perfect. And when you speak English, it's okay. You're going to make mistakes. I still make mistakes today after 7-8 years of studying Spanish. So it's not a problem. The main thing is, can you communicate your thoughts, your ideas? Can the other person understand you, and can you understand the other person? And to me, just have fun. But I'm continuing with my story. So for the first, 2 or 3 years, I didn't try to speak or anything. But then after about my third year, I found a website called Conversation Exchange. Es un sitio de web, se llama Conversation Exchange, where you can find partners that you can exchange conversation. So I found a gentleman in Mexico City. He wanted to improve his English, and I wanted to start speaking. So we would meet once a week, una vez cada semana, por una hora, you know. 30 minutos en inglés, 30 minutos en español. And we would speak, yeah. And in the beginning, it was difícil, sí, muy difícil. Porque I had a lot of, yo estaba pensando cómo yo puedo formar el pretérito imperfecto, condicional. Y, yeah, it's normal in the beginning to think, to pause, but that's part of the process. So don't be scared. You know, the only way to become good at speaking is to speak. You have to speak. See, so there's no other way to do it. So we would meet, like I said, once a week and speak for only 1 hour a week, and that's all I did for maybe another year, just 1 hour once a week. And to me, that was another mistake because I should have begun speaking sooner, and I should have started speaking more often, more frequently. I think at least 3 times a week, you know, because you need to start speaking. Because to me, to learn to speak, it's like becoming familiar with the sounds, and you have to be exposed to the language. You know, say, tienes que expuesto es la palabra en español.
Exponerse.
Exponerse al idioma es muy, muy, muy importante porque hay, you know, it's repetición. It's repetition to me is the thing that's very important. You have to hear the words, you have to hear the phrases, you have to hear the sentences over and over, because especially as we get older, the problem is I learn a word, I hear a word, and then but maybe a week or two later I see that same word, I don't remember it. I don't remember what it means. So I have to look it up again. Okay, yeah, I learned that 2 weeks ago. And maybe a month later, I see the same word or the same phrase. Yeah, I think I know, but I can't remember. So it's like it's a process of learning words until they become very familiar to you. You have to have familiarity, we say in English. See, with the words and the phrases. So the only way to do that is through time and exposure and practice. So after maybe a year of speaking with this gentleman from Mexico, I found a platform in the internet called Baselane. It's a platform that's out of Colombia, Medellin, Colombia. So where I could speak with Spanish speakers, like tutors. So I paid like one flat amount of money, say $100 a month, and I could speak with I had unlimited amounts of conversation with Spanish speakers. So I began to speak like four times a week, maybe with people, tutores or profesores in Espanol. And it was good. Most of them were from Colombia. But the important thing I learned from that is I would personally try to speak with different teachers. That way I would have to explain the same thing, but to a new teacher. So I had a lot of repetition. I would explain about my life, my history of learning Spanish. So after 6-8 months, I got very comfortable with explaining my history about myself, my past in Spanish, because I repeated the same phrases, expressions, the same story over and over and over and over again. But after 8 months, I stopped doing Baselane. And then I would say the last 3-4 years, I heard about something called comprehensible input. Have you heard about that? Input comprensible is where you try to have input, like mainly listening, like listen to podcasts, listen to videos or watch videos, kind of at a level that is just a little bit higher than where you are at. but just have a lot of input, a lot of listening, listen. Maybe when you're driving to work in your car, listen to a podcast in English. If you're doing something around the house, just have something listening. Because to me, personally, the most important thing in learning Spanish was listening. Because one, you get accustomed to the sound of the language and the rhythm of the language. And to me, that's very important because as we are older, also, a lot of times it's difficult, the pronunciation. La pronunciación es difícil cuando estamos personas mayores, sí, porque our tongues, our mouth, it's more difficult to form and make the sounds. And a lot of times it's very helpful to, when you're listening to English, repeat after what you hear. It's very important, I think. It's a good practice. It's good exercise. It's called, it's a technique, es un técnico, se llama shadowing. No sé cómo se dice en español, pero...
Yeah, we say shadowing. Yeah, we say shadowing.
Oh, shadowing. Okay, so shadowing is...
What's mean shadowing, Gabriel?
¿Cómo? Sorry, Adri.
What's mean shadowing? ¿Qué
Como
significa?
repetirlo después de que lo escuchás, pero inmediatamente después de que vas escuchando y repitiendo.
Gracias.
Una sombra.
Claro, tiene
¿no?
que ver con esa,
Sí,
claro,
sí.
con esa.
Sí. So after, maybe 3-4 years ago, I made a decision to become more consistent in my study of Spanish. To me, that's one of the key major things in learning a foreign language. You have to be consistent. Constancia es muy importante, ¿sí? Y persistencia también es muy importante. Tú necesitas hacer algo cada día, ¿sí? Y 30 minutos. So it's very important to do something every day, even only 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But you all are retired, so I think you have, more time than somebody that's younger that may have to work and have kids and a family. So if you can do something, I say at least 1 hour a day, listen to a podcast for 20, 30 minutes, watch a YouTube video for 20, 30 minutes. That's one of my favorite things to do is watch YouTube. So do a lot of you watch YouTube? Can you show me your hands? How many people, cuántas personas ven videos en YouTube? See or no?
YouTube?
Yes, you can raise your hand.
Yeah, raise your hand. See, I think that's a very good way to practice your English because it's, it's free. Well, you have to pay for maybe the cable service, but you can, and find a topic. Another way to find a topic or hobby that you have and watch videos in English about that topic. So es importante si tienes un pasatiempo, ves un video o canal en YouTube sobre este pasatiempo. Si tú puedes aprender algo de, no sé, música o fotografía. So I like to do photography. So I watch videos in Spanish about photography. Maybe about a year ago, I was trying to learn to play a musical instrument. Hace un año traté de tocar un instrumento, se llama una quena. Una quena es un instrumento, tipo de flauta andina. See, I was trying to learn.
Yes.
Pero there are not many videos, or there's not much information in English to learn to play that instrument, la quena. So I found a channel in YouTube in Spanish, and the teacher was from Peru. So he gave lessons to play the quena. So I contacted him. Le contacté y yo empecé a tomar clases en línea en español, ¿sí? Con este hombre peruano. And so it was it was helpful that I could speak Spanish because I could learn from somebody from Peru. And it was a good way for me to practice my Spanish and also to learn something about music, about this instrument, like the cana. So maybe you have other interests. So find something in you want to learn about and watch, just practice in English. If you need to, use the subtitles in English, and don't use subtitles in Spanish. I would say if you're going to watch something in English, it's better to use the subtitles in English. So si tú vas a ver algo en inglés, es mejor usar los subtítulos en inglés, no en español, ¿sí? So, okay, tú sabes, español. So, tú necesitas practicar más en inglés. So, cuando yo veo videos en español, solo uso subtítulos en español, no en inglés, sí.
Okay.
Es difícil al principio, it's difficult in the beginning, pero después you're going to see the same words over and over and over. Eventually, you will improve. So I started to find things in Spanish, hobbies that I could do. Like I said, I became more consistent. So just be consistent and be persistent. Do something every day, and don't be afraid to speak in English. Most people are very happy if you are trying to learn their language. They are very happy to see that you are trying to improve and learn their language. And
did
like
you,
I said, I
sorry,
go ahead.
Gary, did you participate in a conversation exchange group with people from maybe Mexico or Colombia?
Oh, see, yeah,
¿Participaste? Sí.
that's a good question. See, well, yeah, I started with just the one-on-one, but then
Ah,
I started joining. I forgot there's a program online where I would go into chat groups,
ajá.
like for people that it was learning English and Spanish. So we would speak maybe 20. There might be 5, 10 people in a group, and we would speak in maybe 20 minutes. Everybody would speak in English. Then 20 minutes, everybody would speak in Spanish. Then
Mm.
20 minutes English. So this was for maybe like an hour and a half. So I would do that quite a bit also. And that's good practice. So sometimes if you don't want to speak, you can just listen. See?
Yeah.
Then when you feel confident, and then you can say, okay, I'm going to say something. And everybody is learning, so it's low pressure. Nobody thinks they're better than you. But you have to try. You have to try. And there are other platforms out there like italki. Have you heard of italki? Una plataforma en línea se llama italki, pero tú necesitas encontrar un tutor, pero tú necesitas pagar por las clases. Pero you can find a tutor in English and say meet with this tutor, say once a week for 1 hour. I think it's a good investment. Es una buena inversión, ¿sí?
Sí.
En tu aprendizaje de inglés.
Al-
You were going to say
algún-
something?
algunos de los participantes de esta reunión, Gary, estudian
Mhm.
inglés conmigo, algunos solo participan de este grupo de conversación, pero
Okay,
bueno,
sí.
pero hay algunas personas que estudian conmigo, sí,
Okay,
en
sí,
clases
sí.
semanales, y
Semanal. Okay.
algunos se unen para practicar su inglés también semanalmente en estas
Mhm.
reuniones que empezamos no hace mucho, ¿sí? Estamos
Mhm.
hace poquito encontrándonos para practicar nuestro inglés. ¿Querés abrir, Gary, unos minutitos para algunas preguntas? A ver quién se anima
Oh,
a
sí.
preguntar.
Sí, sí. Hay preguntas? All right.
Ok, any
Anybody have any
question,
questions?
alguna pregunta para Gary? ¿Quién se anima? Come on, guys. Celia,
Yeah.
right? Celia?
Celia? Sí. Okay.
No te escucho, Celia, ¿puede
I
ser?
think your microphone.
Yeah.
Teacher,
Ahí va.
Sí.
uh, how many language do you study?
Oh. Nah, well, when I was younger, I studied Chinese, but for like
Chinese.
two or
Chinese.
3 years. but I don't remember very much. That's when I was like in my 20s. So right now, I say I only speak two languages, English
Oh,
and Spanish. And I
Okay.
really I don't have an interest in learning another language right now because I just want to focus on Spanish because I still think I can still improve my Spanish. But one thing I want to say is I realize though that I will never be able to speak Spanish like you all, like a native Spanish speaker. So, and that's not my goal. That's not my. I just want to be able to improve my Spanish and be able to communicate and just have fun. Because to me, the most important thing in learning a language is to enjoy the journey and have fun. You know, I'm able to meet you all, different people in Argentina, and speak with you. If I didn't study Spanish, I wouldn't be able to learn about your class and Gabriel and his in his Instagram channel, and he never would have contacted me. And
yeah, that's right.
so to me, to learn a foreign language opens a door. Aprender un
Nice.
idioma extranjero abre
Abre las
una
puertas.
puerta a muchas cosas diferentes. Sí.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other question? Come on, Lily.
Mhm. Sí.
Estás muteada, Lily, ¿eh?
Yeah, you're sí.
Mute.
Sorry. How many hours a day did you study Spanish?
Oh, I would say good question. After maybe 3 or 4 years ago, when I made the decision, I need to be more serious. So I was studying probably at least 1 to 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours every day. Either listening to podcasts, watching videos, and also reading books in Spanish. So because for me, it's one of my most favorite pastimes. It's one of my most favorite hobbies to do. To me, studying Spanish isn't work. It's fun. It's something I love to do. So I think it's important to find I'd like to say, what is your why? ¿Qué es tu por qué? ¿Por qué tú estás aprendiendo inglés? Like I said, have fun. It's not a job. It shouldn't be difficult, in my opinion. It should be fun. So like I said, find things you want to learn about and learn about those things in English. Spanish too, but learn about them in English as well. So it's more interesting to you.
Okay.
Does that make sense? See?
Yes, enjoy the journey. That's a good
Enjoy
phrase.
the journey. See?
Disfruten el viaje,
El
sería disfruten
viaje.
sí, el proceso. Está bueno, está buenísimo.
Because we have the rest of our lives, to improve. It's not a rush. We are not in a rush. See? So take your time and have fun. That's my philosophy.
Okay,
So
yeah,
no
perfect.
pressure. Don't put pressure on yourself. See? It's very important.
Okay, thanks.
Good question.
Adri, sí, por allá, Adri.
Have you traveled to a country that speaks Spanish anytime?
Okay. Yeah, good question. Yeah, maybe 11 years ago for our honeymoon, we went to Costa Rica.
Ujú.
But then I didn't speak Spanish then, but my wife did because she could kind of talk to the people there. But I've been to Mexico 3 times. We've been to Playa del Carmen. We've been to Mexico City. Also, we've been to San Miguel de Allende and Merida. 2 years ago, we went to Merida, Mexico. So yeah, I'm able to use my Spanish. So when I go, I love to try to speak to the people there in Spanish and practice.
Puerto Rico is more difficult because
Oh,
Puerto Rico.
yeah, Puerto Rico, sí.
The air like a L.
Sí, sí. Have you been to Puerto Rico, Adriana? No?
No, vivo in La Plata, Argentina. I
Okay.
don't know. No, Puerto Rico. No
Okay.
travel. Never travel
Okay.
to Puerto
Good.
Rico. But
See,
I
and
hear
yeah. Okay. Um, yeah. For me, in the beginning, and I was talking to Gabriel at the beginning, it was a little, the Argentinian accent for me was new because I don't
More different.
really get to meet many people from Argentina, especially here in the United States. There are not many people from Argentina.
Mm,
So it was difficult for me to understand the Argentinian accent, but it's getting better. I'm improving. But see, you all are talking to me in English, and we can communicate, right?
yes,
Adriana, Celia, Liliana. It's okay, right? So your English is good. Just keep improving. So don't be scared to speak. We as long as you can express your ideas, you can understand me, I can understand you. That's the beauty to me. The beauty of learning a language is
yeah.
to communicate. See, you don't have to be perfect,
thank
and just keep trying to improve. But no pressure.
you.
Bien, ok, thanks, Gary. Tengo, no sé si alguien más quiere hacer una última pregunta antes de cambiar un poquito la dinámica. ¿Alguien se anima a otra pregunta o pasamos? Porque ahora, Gary, te vamos a compartir un ratito en grupos pequeños. We,
I'll see. Okay.
sí, vamos a hacer, porque ahí seguramente alguno se anime a hacer otra pregunta. Vamos a estar un ratito en un grupo pequeño y otro rato en el otro grupo pequeño. ¿Sí? El grupo que no esté con Gary, siguen hablando, siguen practicando su inglés. Y el grupo que esté con Gary, vamos a presentarnos con Gary, hablar, ¿sí?
Mm,
Esto va a pasar un ratito en un grupo y después Gary se va a pasar al otro grupo en el que no está. ¿Sí? ¿Ok?
sí, está bien. Sí.
Ok, ok, bien. Entonces déjenme que armo em, los grupos. Mientras si alguno quiere hacer otra pregunta. Bien, vamos entonces. Bien, así vamos. Seguramente que en esta oportunidad van a tener a Gary para preguntarle. eh, y Adriana.
No entendí.
Bien. Bueno. Bien, entonces Gary va a estar primero en un grupo y después se va a pasar al otro grupo. ¿Sí? En el grupo donde no
Okay,
está Gary,
sí.
dedíquense a hablar en English. And en el grupo que está Gary, vamos a hablar un rato en inglés y un ratito en español también para que Gary pueda practicar su
Practicar.
español con nosotros. ¿Sí? Bien, ahí nos vamos entonces al grupo pequeño.
No.
Ok, bien, en español, first of all, ¿qué les parece? ¿Qué les viene pareciendo la charla? Sorry, tengo un ruido, alguien que tiene algo, un sonido de fondo, no sé si todos los escuchan o soy yo
No.
nomás.
Ah, puede ser yo, a ver,
Sí,
para.
¿Sí? Ahí,
agua, de
bien.
agua.
Ah, ok, ok, no entendí. Bien, bueno, ¿qué les quedó en el tintero? Porque ahora en un ratito lo van a tener a Gary. Gary igual entiende español, pero em, bien, Lili, tu pregunta, perfect. Em,
¿Qué dijo?
¿Les quedó algo en el tintero que no entendieron, que se les pasó, que...
Sí, bueno, algunas
Sí,
palabras
mucho.
en mi caso, sí.
Yo lo que
Pero
quisiera preguntar,
Bien, ahí vamos volviendo entonces a la sala grande, the main room to say bye to Gary, to say thanks a lot, Gary.
Sí.
Okay.
Bien, bueno, acá estamos todos, creo ya.
Very thank you.
Okay, Gary, thanks a lot for
And
joining
thanks a
us.
lot.
Bien, ¿algún comentario para Gary desde acá, desde Argentina? ¿Quién se anima?
Nice to meet you, Gary.
Okay, thank you. I enjoyed the class and enjoyed getting to meet everybody. It was saying English. It was a blast. That means it was a good time. I enjoyed it.
Me too.
Thank you, Gary.
Gary, thank you for your ideas. You make me ideas, new ideas for study English.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
Gary, I want to see in Argentina.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Now, Gary, you have friends here, so
I see that. Yeah.
okay. Okay. Bueno, Gary, no te retenemos más. Thank you, all of
Thank
you,
you.
for being here. Muchas gracias,
Thank you.
Gary.
Okay. You're
Nos
welcome.
vemos.
You.
Nos vemos.
Bye bye.
Okay.
Bye
Have
bye.
a good
See you.
weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Ciao ciao.
Bye
Nice to
bye.
meet you.
Bye.
Bye, Margarita. Bye,
Bye bye.
everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye.